Hey guys and dolls, today we're going to be doing a show and tell for the products that I picked up from the Mac Me Over collection by MAC. It's like MAC. Do you remember a couple years ago when they did the MAC collection? It was like makeup, art, cosmetics. Anyway, so we're gonna do this a little differently than we normally do. Since I've waited so long to make this show and tell video, a lot of these products are still available at your local counters. Nordstrom.com has a lot of them. Macy's still has some of the stuff, but MACcosmetics.com, I don't really know what's up. So anyway, what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna actually show you dupes that I have in my own collection or just suggest a couple things. Now I'm gonna be doing MAC dupes for MAC products. I know a lot of you would actually prefer to see inexpensive dupes. To be honest, MAC has a pretty global reach and there's tons of sites and different lists out there that list dupes for permanent MAC eyeshadows. So rather than try to find a dupe for Moleskin, which is the limited edition product, you can easily try to find a dupe for Wedge, and I assure you there'll be something out there that's similar to Wedge. So anyway, oh, I can't talk today. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get started. So the first things I want to share are the lip products because I don't have direct dupes for them at all, so it's kind of like the easiest thing to share. So yes, this is Curvaceous Lip Glass. It's a dusty, milky pink tape job. There are similar lip glosses like this available from many different companies. There are quite a few similar shades in the cream sheen glass range that MAC sells. I chose to get this because this like lip glass comes with more product than cream sheens, and then on top of that it's called Curvaceous. Have we met? So the next product I got is called Oh, and it is in the tube it looks like a bronzy brown. On the lips it looks like a berry, like a sheer berry with kind of a coppery shimmer. So this is actually really quite attractive. Looks kind of scary in the tube. I intended to actually purchase Prince Noir when I was purchasing my goodies, but I realized I probably wouldn't wear Prince Noir very often, and as you can see by the dip that this already has, I've used this a lot. It's a very wearable shade. This is very similar to O in the permanent range, but this is just a little bit lighter. So if you've tried O before and it was just a little too intense for you, try O. Funny how they changed the name a little bit, but not really. The next thing I got was Stunner Blush, and I put this in my list of things to get, and then when I got there I kind of almost took it off, but I decided to try it on in the store before I left. And I put it on and Mr. Vintage or Tacky was like, ooh, that's really pretty. And if a guy notices that your blush is pretty, that's probably a good blush to have. It's just very, very soft. It's not as intense as most of my favorite blushes. So here's one of my blush palettes, and this is kind of like the warmer palette, but for some reason, I don't know why Mocha's in there. I just don't think it has a better home. Plus I like to mix Mocha and Floor Power together. So for me, this shade is like a lighter version. Like if Mocha and Floor Power had a light-skinned baby, this would be it. There you go. What next? Let's go ahead and show you the brushes that I got. So I got the 226. This is that much sought after brush. It's kind of like a controlled crease brush. So it's not as flexible as like a 224 and it's not as big as a 217. So it kind of gets right in that crease area. I have tons of dupes for this. Sigma makes one, Revlon makes one. That might be all the ones that I can think off the top of my head, but lots of companies make brushes similar to this. I just really wanted to have the MAC versions for, you know, comparison purposes, and also because it's like not as scratchy as the Revlon version, I think. And it's more pointed than the Sigma version. The other brush that came out with this is the 211. It's a very small liner brush. Now this one's actually going to be permanent, whereas the 226 is going to be limited edition. What I really like about this one is that it's really easy to control. I find like the really thin eyeliner brushes can be a little difficult to work with. In terms of shape, it's kind of sort of similar to the brush that they give you for free when you buy a Mayron palette. I use the Mayron one for lips quite a lot, which is why it's red right now. Lost my train of thought a little bit right there. Don't really remember what I was talking about. Okay, I used this for my eyeliner today and I really rather quite liked it, and I can see myself picking up another one of those in the future if I end up really liking it. Now it's time for me to kind of come clean. I have a substance abuse problem and it's called MAC. And I purchased all the eyeshadows in this collection, not the quads, but all the single eyeshadows I bought, except for Satin Taupe, which I already owned. Basically, I just feel like all these shadows were really nice and really usable for daily wear. You know, some of them maybe don't flatter me so much, but I actually purchased all of these to depot and put into my palettes for my kit. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and show you those. So the first one I bought is Creamy Bisque. It's sort of a off-white with a little bit of a pink tone. It's kind of similar to Shroom, but as you might be able to see, Shroom leans a little bit more on the yellow side, so this is a bit pinker. It's kind of like a less shimmery version of Floof. Shroom on me is almost like a nothing color. You really can't see it at all, whereas Creamy Bisque shows up a little bit better. This is a frost texture, whereas this is a satin. The next shadow I picked up is Moleskin. This is a good neutral. I mean, this is like true neutral territory right here. Light to mid-tone, just depending on your skin tone. For me, I can use this as a lid color, I can use it as a crease color, I can kind of do lots of different things with it. It's somewhat similar to Wedge. Wedge seems to be a little bit darker and a little bit less pink to me. Otherwise, they're really similar. Moleskin does have a better texture and better color payoff, and these are both matte eyeshadows. The next eyeshadow I bought is called Outra or whatever you pronounce it. I don't know how to say it. This is sort of like a mustard, ochre, whatever you would call that. Just kind of like a mustardy brown. It's almost identical to the like similar color in the Double Feature 4. I actually can't tell the difference between the two when I swatch them or when I use them, so awesome. The closest thing that MAC has in the permanent range would probably be Soba, but even then there's a huge difference between the two. So this one's actually really quite unique, so if you like it, I would definitely pick it up. And this is a matte texture. So the next one I purchased is called Mythical, and it is kind of a coppery, pretty darn close dupe for Mythology, except that this is a Volux Pearl, so it has a much better texture than Mythology, which I think is a luster. I've never been able to get Mythology to work, which is why I don't have the it here to show you the difference. So the last shadow is Carbonized. A lot of people thought this would be somewhat similar to Mulch eyeshadow, but I find it to be a lot darker than Mulch and a lot more cool tone, whereas Mulch can be kind of like a golden or reddish tone brown depending on what you pair it with. It's kind of similar to this shadow. This is one of the Mega Metal shadows from the Peacocky collection. This is called Center Stage. I really like this color, but it's a little too large to carry around in my kit, so I thought Carbonized would be a good duplicate. They're not really exactly the same, but it's close enough for jazz. So I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and are going to enjoy the swatches and everything like that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Remember to be vintage or tacky, just be yourself. Bye!